So we're just staying with our basic Matwork Pilates, guys, just with no equipment. However, if you do have the ring or bands there, those who have done the sessions with me, you're allowed to just introduce them into some of the exercises. And just remember, if there's any pain, stop what you're doing, go back to the exercise that was okay, or wait for the next exercise. So you shouldn't have any pain throughout the exercises, you'll just feel them working. All right, so just stop what you're doing if something doesn't feel right. All right, let's get started. We're just going to start with a little bit of light stretching. Just laying down, bringing up one leg across the body and just stretching across. So just stretching out that lower back at the moment. Just getting a little bit of movement. And other side. Good, bringing that leg back up. All right, we're going to start by activating that T-zone, getting that firing. So we're going to draw up through that T-zone, up through that pelvic floor, tightening those lower hips, yeah? So you want to feel like you're flattening those lower abdominals, drawing those hip bones together. You can have a feel on that bony bit, about a centimetre in, just feel that turning on and activating. All right, we're just going to start with our lift and extend. So we're just going to draw that leg up, extending out, and then drawing back in. Lift and extend, then draw back in. So we want to make sure that we're exhaling as we take that leg out, inhale as we draw it back in. As we're inhaling, we're thinking about drawing up through that T-zone. Exhale, I want you to think about drawing those ribs down and in. We're flattening out those abdominals. So mainly just trying to warm up that T-zone. Try and keep those shoulders down and relaxed. Keeping those ribs in. Good, 2 more each side. Keep having a feel for that activation. Make sure that it's turning on. All right, taking that leg straight up. All right, we're going to turn it out slightly. So we're rotating the leg out slightly. We're just going to take the leg down and out to the side. So we're doing our circles. Small circle with the leg. Keep feeling for that activation. Good. So yes, if you've got any bands, guys, you're welcome to use the bands. We really want to focus on not rocking through the hips. So that means we've just got to try and focus on keeping that T-zone turned on. Exhale as we're taking that leg out and around. All right, let's go out to the side now. It's a little bit harder. So out to the side, drawing that leg up the center. Just focus on that other knee, that it's not dropping out to the side. You want to make sure that that's facing straight up towards the ceiling. Focus on drawing that thigh bone into the hip joint. Good, all right, let's swap legs. So taking that other leg up, let's go down the center first. Inhale, coming down, rotating around and up. So keep those hips nice and still, no rocking, really tightening that T-zone. Focus on trying to keep those hips still. Okay, we've got that leg turned out slightly. All right, let's go out the other way. So out to the side first, then circling around. So you just want to do the circle that's comfortable for you. Some people are going to be able to go a lot lower, depending on how strong they are through the leg there. But if you can't, that's fine. It doesn't matter if it's just a small circle, just till we get a bit stronger through the T-zone there. All right, good. Drawing that leg down. All right, still just warming up, guys. We're just going to take those arms straight up. Inhale, I want you to think about drawing those shoulder blades drawn back and down. All right, we're just going to take the arms overhead and then drawing back up. Focus on that breathing. All right, let's do opposite arm. So one's going overhead, one's coming down by the hips and coming up. Now I want that movement coming from the actual shoulder blade. So I'm squeezing the shoulder blade as I extend over, then draw it back together. Squeeze the shoulder blades down and draw back together. Inhale as I'm taking them down, exhale as we're coming up. All right, next one, guys, just coming up and holding there. We're just activating our scapulars. All right, so squeezing down through those shoulder blades. I want you to feel like you're squeezing them together. Then I want you to extend and reach up towards the ceiling, like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your fingertips. You're opening up those shoulder blades, separating them. Squeeze back down, squeeze the shoulder blades down, and extend back up again. So it's just a small movement, and it's coming from those shoulder blades here. So we're actually squeezing back and then releasing. Squeezing back and releasing. A few more. 3, 2, last one. Good. All right, taking the hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide. We've got the ribs drawn down and in, T-zones on. We're going to start with that ab curl. Curl it up and lower. Keep that chin tucked in. So I'm thinking about drawing those ribs down, scooping out the abdominals, flattening them. Exhale as we're coming up. Inhale as we're coming down. And 3 more. All right, taking the hands overhead, we're coming into our oblique curls, okay? Cross the body and down. Cross the body and down. So keep that chin tucked in. I think about drawing the rib to the opposite hip. So squeeze those abdominals together. I'm flattening them out, drawing the ribs to hip. And I keep hitting that wall. 2 more each side. All right, back to our oblique, our ab curl. So elbows nice and wide, chin's tucked in. We're going to exhale as we draw up, inhale as we draw down. It's just a small movement up, yeah? Scooping out the abdominals, you're trying to flatten them. Ribs to hips. Keep that chin tucked in. All right, back to our oblique curls across the body. Coming across, think about ribs to hips. No straining through the neck. You want to lengthen through the back of the neck, keep that chin tucked in. And 1 more each side. All right, coming up the center, guys, I want you to hold there. Chin's tucked in, and I want you to just do a little pulse. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest, guys. Quick little rest. I'm going to take my top layer off. And then we'll go into some more abs. All right. Let's go into some tabletop work. So we're just going to start with our tabletop prep. Shoulders are drawn back and down, T-zones on. Tighten those lower abdominals. All right, coming up into tabletop prep. We're just going to draw up one leg up, then the other. And I want you to bring it back down. Then come up with the other leg. Up, back down. Now we've got to focus on imprinting that spine. So we don't want that arch through the back. We want to push those abdominals into the mat, all right? Flattening that back. Continue with up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Good. Now breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep those abdominals drawn into the mat. T-zones on. All right, holding up there and toe taps. And to make it a little bit harder, you can take it further away from the body. Easier, just tapping in close to the bottom. All right, to make it harder again, guys, you can tap both legs down and up, down and up. Otherwise, just stay with the single ones. 3. I'm really flattening those abdominals into the mat, yeah? All right, hold there. Let's come back down. We're going to do another set of everything, okay? Inhale. All right, up we come. Exhale, tap back down. Other side. So keep that spine imprinted. Bring those legs up. And down. All right, come up and hold, holding it up there. All right, tap it down. One at a time. Now again, close to the bottom or further away from the bottom. You need to advance it. Keep that spine imprinted, yeah? Ribs are drawn down and in, no popping, because it means you're arching through the back. So draw those ribs in, flatten that back. Both legs if you can. Keep that spine imprinted. And come down for a rest, guys. Little rest. Good job. All right. So we're going to go into our bicycle legs, and I'm going to show you the crisscross as well, so you guys can choose between which one you're going to do, okay? So bicycle legs, we're just coming up into tabletop, shoulders drawn up off the mat. We've got our bicycle legs, taking one leg out, drawing it back in. Now, if you need to place the head down on the mat, start with these guys. You can place the head down on the mat. Just don't take the legs as low, okay? So inhale and exhale as we take the leg out. Now, to make it a little bit harder, guys, you can go into our crisscross. So we're coming across the body and down. Otherwise, just stay with our leg extensions. If you need to support that neck, just place the hand behind the neck, head. Otherwise, just place your head down on the mat. And 3, 2, 1. All right, bringing those legs in. We're going to start with the single leg stretch. So that spine's still imprinted. And swapping legs. Nick, you can go back to some tabletops if you want, or some pelvic lifts. And swap. So I'm inhaling as I draw that leg in. Sorry, inhale as I'm swapping the legs. Exhale as I'm drawing that leg in. 3, 2, keep that chin tucked in. And 1. All right, little stretch. We're going back into another round. All right, so positioning first. T-zones on, coming up into tabletop position. Spine's imprinted, curling up. All right, let's go into our bicycle. So extending out and in. Exhale as we take it out. Inhale as we draw it back in. So if you want to advance it, guys, go into our crisscross. So I'm just focusing on drawing that opposite rib across. So we're working more into the obliques. Okay? Otherwise, just stay with our bicycles. You need to support the neck. Place the hand behind. Keep that chin tucked in. 3, 2, 1. All right, bring those knees in. Draw one leg in. Single leg stretch and swap. So inhaling as you're swapping. Exhale as we draw that leg in. 3, 2, and 1, guys. All right. Stretching out over the top. Good. All right. So we're going to come up into our beats, guys. So we've got to do our tabletop prep again, just to get into position. So coming up into tabletop position, spines imprinted. All right. We're going to take the legs, we're going to curl up first. Shoulders drawn back and down, legs nice and straight. I want you to turn the legs out slightly so the heels are touching. We're going to take the legs out and then draw back in for 1, 2, 3. I'll turn that over slightly. 1, 1, 2, 3. Heels are tapping together. Try to get into a position you can see me. 1, 2, 3. So as you're doing that move, I want you to think of really squeezing through the inner thighs, all right? So make sure that spine's imprinted. Take the legs out and 1, 2, 3. Tightening through those inner thighs. I've got that spine imprinted. You need to just place the hands on the outside to guide the legs, that's fine. Drawing those ribs down and in. Good. Let's go for 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Really squeeze through those inner thighs. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Good. Another little stretch, guys. All right. Let's bring up. Come over onto the knees. And come back into a whoop, for a stretch. Lean back into that bottom. Good, good. So we're going to get to some glutes now, but before we go into our side lying glutes, what I normally do, we're going to go into our kneeling ones. So we've got time to fit everything in today. All right, coming up, guys. So kneeling. We're coming up into our kneeling position. A few things to focus on. Okay, we want to still make sure we've got that T-zone turned on. The ribs are drawn in. All right, we don't want the ribs popping out and then we're arching through the back, because then we're not using the abdominals and we're using the back muscles. All right, so we want to lengthen out through the back, keep those abdominals turned on. I think about drawing the chest up into the shoulder blades, okay? Because we don't want them collapsing either and the shoulders coming up. So we're opening out the shoulder blades, drawing the chest up. We want to put 90% of our weight through one of the legs, depending on which one we're working on. Make sure the hands are under the chest, okay? We don't want the weight all forward and we're putting too much pressure on the wrist. So we're coming back slightly. You can come up onto your fists if you need to keep the wrist straight. Other thing to do is I get a towel or something so you can hold in a better position so it takes less weight off the hands, all right? All right, let's get started. So drawing those abdominals up and in, T-zones on, drawing the ribs in, draw that chest up into the spine. 90% of the weight through, well, I'm putting it through my left leg because that's the one I'm kneeling on. I'm just going to lift that other leg up, activating the glute, yeah? Squeeze the glute. I'm just going to extend out and draw back in. Let it come a bit more forward so you can see me. Extend out and in. So I just want to make sure that this isn't happening and I'm using the back. We've got to keep that back nice and still. No extending and arching. So keep it still, extend and in. Just be careful as you start to, weight starts to draw forward. You just want to sit it back into that knee. I'm squeezing that bottom before I take the leg out. All right, come out and hold it there. I want you to do a little pulse just towards the ceiling. Okay, bend that knee and flex the foot. I want you to push the heel towards the ceiling. Keep that weight through the other leg still. Keep those ribs drawn in. Squeeze and tighten that bottom. All right, extend it out, hold it there, little pulses. 3, 2, 1, hold it there, guys, it's still going. We're going to turn that leg out slightly. Okay, so we're going to take the leg out to the side, flex, squeeze the bum back in. Sweep it out to the side, flex the foot, draw it back in. Point, take it out to the side, flex, squeeze it back in. So you should start to feel that activating into the glute a little bit more. Squeeze back. 3 more, yeah? Squeeze it back in. Keep that weight through the knee. Last one. Squeeze back in. All right, drawing it in for 5. Extend out, in, extend. Keep those ribs drawn in. No arching through the back, nice and controlled. And last one. Good. All right, little rest. We're going to go to the other side. So if you were getting a bit too much pain through that upper body, just try and really focus on drawing that weight back into the knees, okay? We don't want to be going forward. Sit it back. All right, other side. So I'm drawing those ribs up into the spine, keeping those abdominals turned on. We're going to activate our bottom, so tense it and squeeze it before we take the leg out. So extend out and in. No arching through the back. You might find one side's going to be a little bit harder than the other. Keep that weight through the knee. No swinging. All right. Take the leg out, hold it there, and little pulses. All right, bend, heel. So we're flexing the foot and drawing up. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and extend out, point that toe, and little pulses. Try and move the angle a little bit better for you, seeing if you can see it better. All right, so now rotate that leg out slightly. Yeah, so we're rotating the leg out from the hip. Extend out, flex, and squeeze it back in across the body. So we're going out to the side, point it, take it out to the side, flex, squeeze it back in. Point, out to the side, flex, squeeze it back in. Make sure you're not transferring that weight forward into the arms. Ribs are drawn in, T-zone's on. So flex as you squeeze that bum in, point as you take it out. Flex and squeeze in, point as you take it out. 3 more, nearly there. And last one. Good. All right, coming in for 5. Extend out, draw it back in. Just for 5. Keep those abdominals on. And rest, guys. How's your bums feeling? Good? All right. We're going to keep going on with some more glutes, guys, and coming down to some sideline, and then we'll go onto our tummy just to do some back extension work, okay? So if you've got a band, guys, you can tie it around your legs to make it a little bit harder. And I'll introduce them in the next couple of weeks. So if you need to borrow any or purchase any, let me know. All right, so coming up into our clams. We're going to whiz through the clams and then get into some of the other stuff, okay? All right, here we go. So I want you to draw those abdominals up off the mat, drawing up through that T-zone. Yeah, keep the hips stacked on top of each other. Shoulders are drawn back and down. T-zones on, activate the glutes, open up. Good. All right, let's go straight into drawing those feet up. Good. All right, let's kick it out. So opening up, extend and point, heels back together and close. Open up, extend out, heels back together and close. Good job. Extend and point, heels back together. Last one. Heels back together and close, and keeping those abdominals on. All right, taking that leg straight out in line with the body. We're going to go into our rectangle. So we're just drawing a rectangle with our feet. Movements coming from here though, the glutes, yeah? So taking the leg back, up, across, down. Squeeze back, up, across, down. Good. Make sure that movement's coming from the bottom, that's doing the work, yeah? The last two. All right, good. Taking those legs straight out in line with the body. Still drawing those abdominals up, yeah? We're going to draw that leg up, rotate it in, yeah? Legs straight at the bottom. We're going to do our hot potato, so working our internal rotators. So we're just going to come forward of the body, up and over and behind. Up and over, in front, up and over and behind. Exhale as we tap, inhale as we go over the top. So we're exhaling on that tap, inhaling as we go over. So really on focus on that breathing. It will help keep those abdominals switched on. We're lifting from the bottom. Good. Couple more. 3, 2, 1. All right, draw that knee up into 45 again. Take that top leg straight out in line with the body. We're going to go into our butt. So still drawing those abdominals up off the mat. Inhale, take that leg up, out in front, point and sweep. Inhale, out in front, point and sweep. We're exhaling as we sweep it around. Inhale as we draw it up. Keep those abdominals lifted off the mat. We don't want to be collapsing into the mat. I've got those ribs drawn in, T-zones on. And in 3, 2, 1. All right, give it a rub, guys. All right, let's go over to the other side. Again, so we don't want to be collapsing into the mat and arching through the back, okay? So we want to draw those ribs in. I lift the abdominals up off the mat slightly. You can get a little bit of daylight, that's great. Hips are stacked on top of each other, yeah? Squeeze the glute before we go into it, opening up. So tightening, have a feel for that activation. I place my hands down, I actually feel the tightening of that muscle before I open up into the clam. All right, bring those heels up. Let's kick it out now, opening up, extend and point, heels together and close. Drawing those abdominals up off the mat, T-zones on, ribs are drawn down and in. Don't forget your breathing. A couple more. All right, drawing it down. Take that leg straight out in line with the body. We're going to go into our rectangles. So the movements coming from that bottom, okay? Position, ribs are drawn in, abdominals on, squeezing back, up, across, down. Keep those hips nice and still. We shouldn't be rocking. If we are, it just means that T-zone is turning off. Have a feel for that activation there as well. Good, good. All right. Let's take those legs straight out in line with the body, yeah? Ribs are drawn in, T-zones on, yeah? Drawing those abdominals up. All right, we're going to take that leg up, rotate it in, working the internal rotators, tapping front and behind. So our hot potatoes, exhale, inhale, exhale. So the movement's coming from the bottom's lifting that leg up. Keep that T-zone on to help keep the hips nice and still. Keep those ribs drawn down and in, no arching through the back. 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Coming back up to 45, heels in line with the bottom. Take that top leg straight out, extend out. Draw the abdominals up, T-zones on, ribs drawn in. So inhale, drawing that leg up, out in front, flex, point and sweep. Inhale, take it out in front, flex, point and sweep. So that bum's doing the work. I want you to get that bottom driving that leg through. It's doing all the work, yeah? Inhale, exhale as we take it around and sweep. Nearly there, guys, nearly there. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys, and give it a rub. Nice work. Hopefully they're burning a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's roll over and just do a little bit of a glute stretch. Let's give a little bit of relief. Now, if you can't bring that leg all the way up, it can be there. If you're getting the stretch there, that's fine as well. Okay? Other leg up. Good, nearly there. All right, nice work, guys. All right, let's go over onto our tummies. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit of strengthening through the back. Coming down. All right, so in this position, we've got to make sure that we're not just collapsing into the mat, yeah? We still want to try and think about drawing those abdominals up off the mat. I'm tucking that pubic bone, tucking the bum under and pushing the pubic bone into the mat, and it'll help draw those abdominals up and off. It just stops you recruiting the back muscle as much, okay? So we're not arching through the back as much. We're just going to start with some shoulder activation, and then we'll go into our Superman. So shoulders are drawn back and down. I'll better face this way so you can hear me. So draw the abdominals up, bums tucked under. We're just going to come up slightly, drawing up and releasing. So just squeezing up and release. So as I'm coming up, I want you to think about drawing those shoulder blades down the back. So you want to feel like they're coming, you're stretching the actual shoulders down towards your bottom, if that makes sense. So we're coming up, squeezing and release. Squeeze down and release. So especially now that we're probably on our iPads and laptops and computers a lot, working from home, we're trying to focus on activating and strengthening those shoulder blades because we come quite hunched and tight through the chest and then weak through the shoulder blades, which causes a lot of back, pain through the back. Squeezing up, last 3. And release. Taking the hands out in front, draw the abdominals up off the mat, bums tucked under. All right, we're going to squeeze the glute and we're just going to draw opposite arm to opposite leg. Squeeze and draw up. Just keep that head facing down, forehead towards the mat. We're relaxing the neck, yeah? It's just opposite arm to opposite leg. Don't watch my head because I keep turning my head so you can hear me. I've got those abdominals turned on. I'm tightening them before I lift. Squeezing the bottom, then lift. 3, 2, last 1. All right, and relax. Okay, last exercise, we're going to go into our triceps. So same positioning, bums tucked under, draw those abdominals up. They're actually called flights. We did them, I think, last week. So we want to draw those shoulder blades back and down, drawing the upper body up off the mat slightly. Arms are back and past the body. All right, I just want you to rotate the arms. As you're rotating, you're extending down the body, trying to reach your toes. So rotating around and back. Don't hold the breath. Make sure you're breathing. Now you want to make sure that you're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Elbows have to be locked. Otherwise, you won't feel those triceps working. Reach down towards the toes. Get those fingertips really stretching out. Tighten those elbows, lock them. Squeeze and tighten through the back of the arm. Keep that chin tucked down and in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, guys. Good, good, good. All right, coming up, we'll do some stretches. So first, bring that arm across the body. So just while you're doing this stretch for me, either side, just a little exercise at home if you've got one of these bands or any type of band, especially if you're at the computer a lot lately with everything that's going on. A simple exercise just to help draw the chest, open up the chest and to activate the shoulder blades to give a little bit of relief is just our seated row, okay? So I've got that chest up, we're just squeezing back and releasing. All right. It's something you should sort of try and get into the habit of doing every day if you can. Especially since we're spending more time on the computer. So if you can get yourself onto get a band or give me a buzz and I can send you one, please do, okay? We'll try and introduce some more scapular and back strengthening over the coming weeks as well to help, all right? Taking the arms behind. Good. Stretching that neck down. So just sort of trying to get that chin down towards the armpit. And other side. You might not need to use the hands. You probably find just taking the head down is enough to get that stretch, depending on how tight you are. Otherwise, I just draw my head down a little bit further to get that stretch further deep into those neck muscles. Good. Taking one leg out, guys. We're just going to stretch out those hamstrings. So I just want you to come forward and then stretching forward. If you flex that foot, you might get more of a stretch. Don't worry if you're getting a stretch just through that back there. It just probably means you're a little bit tight, okay? If it feels good, it's a good thing. I might even get my balls out too. I've got these little pressure balls just to help show you some moves that you can do to help release some tension in the glutes, legs, back. Just similar to the roller. The roller does the same thing, but with the balls, you can just get into areas a little bit better. So good. All right, last one, guys. Let's come up for the hip flexors. As these get tight, sitting at the desk and that, or at home, homeschooling. We did have a moment of tears yesterday, but we recovered quickly. And it wasn't me crying, it was one of my daughters. It's getting easier though. It's better than what it was on Tuesday. Good, pulling back. You should feel that stretch right up the back. And other side. Stretching in, I push that hip forward. So you've got to stretch through that hip flexor, the top of the thigh. And stretching back, draw that heel right back. All right, bending over, guys. Let's slowly draw it up. So you probably feel a bit more of a stretch through those hamstrings. Again, I think I've told you I'm quite flexible. Don't worry if you can't touch the mat. Some people can only get to there, and that's fine. As long as you're feeling a stretch up the back of the legs. And slowly roll up, guys. I'm going to bend down because you can't see me. Let's give those shoulders a bit of a roll. Well done, guys. Well done.